All right, hello everyone, and peace of Christ, all of you. Please invite your friends and share the link with whoever you have in your network. We made a video a few hours ago about the death of Muhammad, proving that Muhammad is a false prophet from the reference which is shown by Muslims. And a Muslim, he sent me a response saying that first of all, Muhammad did not die by poison. And he is saying, well, the poison or the poisoning of Muhammad happened many years, or let us say the death of Muhammad, sorry, happened many years after he ate from the poison. So how it could be that he died by the poison? Here we need to discuss a little bit of issues. And as always, I say, take the Muslim logic to refute the Muslims. For me, I believe that if somebody took a poison today, still it's possible to die long after, because the poison is a kind of damage which you cannot fix. That's it. So if you survive, it does not mean you survive totally. Depend on what this poison did. Like in some cases, even you might lose a limb. They might cut your leg. Depend, like if the snake bite you somewhere and it was too late. So poison can damage limbs, and depend what and how you receive that poisoning. Muhammad received the poisoning by food, and which mean you cannot make a cut like normal bite of a snake, where maybe in your foot, and you make a cut, you bleed. And that will make the poison go. This is in the stomach. It's a food he ate. Same time, let us assume that what you are saying, have a point. But that means still that your prophet is a false prophet. Because if you're a prophet, according to you Muslims, if you remember the hadith where a man, he came to Muhammad asking Muhammad about his brother who is suffering from illness. You're a prophet, he told him to go and drink honey. And the man, he did. He came back, he said, my brother is getting worse. Muhammad, he screamed at him and he says, go and tell him to drink honey. The man, he came for the third time, etc. And then at the end, Muhammad, he said to the man, your brother's stomach did lie and Allah told the truth. Which means when Muhammad, he talk even about health, he claimed that this is inspired to him by Allah. And here Muhammad is speaking about his own health. So imagine he is inspired by Allah to speak about the health of someone else, but he is not inspired by Allah to speak about his own health. If you go in the hadith, we will find the following. And this is in Sahih al-Bukhari. The one who is saying that he is dying by the poison is your prophet. So when you say he did not die by poison, simply you are saying Muhammad was telling false information. And that again will lead us to conclusion that Muhammad is a joker. He cannot be trustworthy to listen to what he say. If you Muslims, you deny what your prophet say, and you accuse him that he is lying, or even he's wrong in the best scenario, that's mean Muhammad is not a prophet. You see, when the funny thing about Muslims, if we said to them, did Muhammad say anything wrong? They would say never. Did he ever spoke wrong? They would say never. Is he always speak good? They say yes. Now, because that prove his death proving here that Muhammad is a false prophet, they are trying to reject that. But the one who reject that actually is the naive ones, not the educated Muslims. Let us say those, I don't want to call them I cannot call them high school, because high school is a lot of education for those people. I want to call them those people who go in denial from the facts. So now, did Muhammad die by poison or not? Muhammad say yes. You say no. So which one we should follow? If we follow you, that's mean you are the prophet and he is the false prophet. So you choose one, and please leave the comment. Secondly, Let us see what the scholars of Islam says, not me and you. Not only what the Prophet said, because look like you Muslims are trying to get away with it. I looked for the reference in English so we can find a solution for this. This is a Muslim website and you can search for the title yourself. Let us go back to the top. This is Al-Islam, Islamic QA, and this is the title you see. The Jews attempts to kill the Prophet. The Jews attempt to kill the Prophet. The fatwa number, as you see here, is a 32762. Fatwa, for those who do not know, is a is a religious opinion from scholars according to like people of knowledge, based on the teaching of the Prophet and the Quran and reference and hadith, etc. So this is not the people in the streets, you know, saying things. Those are supposedly the best of the Muslims, the most educated ones, the one who can read, because the rest of the Muslims do not know how to read, including Muhammad. Now here the question is about the Jews attempting to kill the Prophet, and here is the answer, that the Jews attempt to kill the Prophet many times according to this reference. But we will see here the conclusion. Here talking about, then come the poison incident after the conquest of Khaybar. Bukhari 2617 and Muslim 2190. This is the reference. Narrated from Anas that a Jewish woman, she came to the Prophet, Messenger of Allah, etc., and then with some poison meat. The Messenger of Allah ate from it, and when he asked her about that, she said, I wanted to kill you. He said, Allah would not let you do that. And this is the challenge for the Muslims, because he said to me in the previous video, you said that the Prophet, he said to the women, Allah will not let you do it, but the hadith you showed us on the screen, it did not say that. My friend, that's because of your ignorance. Because do I have to show you all the hadith? I mean, I'm sharing with you my knowledge, and always my knowledge is going to be proven to be wrong if you know, if anyone challenge me, like when I say something, like now you did challenge me, he says this is a lie, there's nowhere he says to her, Allah will not let you do it. Where you get this from? That's because you of your ignorance. So you thought maybe I'm lying, and you said to yourself, okay, here we go, he is we got something against him, so let us you know, challenge him to show us where he got this from. Let me zoom more in the page so you guys can read the text maybe better. I think this is better for you guys, right? So look what happened here. Muhammad, he said to the woman, Allah will not let us read word by word, as Muhammad said. He said, Allah would not let you do that. What? Allah will not let you do that. Do what exactly? To kill him. Another false prophecy of a false prophet. Because if you just said Allah would not let you do that, is that a knowledge you speak of, or this is a lie you are making up? Why Allah will not let her do that? People get killed. So Muhammad here claiming that he is above mankind and he is protected by Allah, so Allah will not let you do that. One of the Muslims in the text, he says to me that he did not kill her, you know, and not only that, one of them he said, oh, she converted to Islam. I mean, all those lies, amazing. The Muslims, how they fabricate lies. Here it says, they said, shall we kill her? He said no. He said, I can still see the effect on that etc., the one I ate. And then they continue the story. He did not kill her right away, he killed her after. And now we said it is that the poisons still left some trace and of blackness, etc. And then The report differ in which that was she killed, but they are not different about is she killed or not, about when she was killed. It seemed that the Prophet, blessing be upon him, did not kill her at first, but when Bashar, or the guy who is with him, he died as a result of this poison, he ordered her to be executed. So yes, she was killed and she was executed. Now here we have another story about what happened, and I want the Muslims to focus with me because this is extremely important. The death of this man is proving to us that he is a false prophet. Narrated from Al-Bukhari, when etc. etc. blah, blah, okay. A roasted poisoned sheep was presented to the Prophet as a gift by the Jews. The Messenger of Allah said, let the Jew who have been here be assembled before me. The Jews were gathered, and the Messenger of Allah said, will you now tell me the truth if I ask you about something? They replied, yes. He asked, have you poisoned this sheep? They said, yes. He asked, what made you do that? They said, wanted to know if you were a liar, in which case we would have get rid of you, and if you are a prophet, then the poison would not harm you. So as you see, the challenge here is not just about killing Muhammad. This is an examination of how legitimate this man is. And if you go back in the top, we just read for you where Muhammad, he says, Allah will not let you do that. Let you do what? She said to him, exactly, I want you to kill you. In Al-Bukhari and in a Muslim, she said that the women, she said that if you are a prophet, poison will not affect you. If you are just a king, you will die. So if you are a prophet, he will survive it and God will protect you. So here the story is continue to prove the same. If you are just a liar, you will die, and if you are a prophet, the poison will not harm you. Now, was Muhammad killed by this poison? Let us continue our read. And again, remember, everything we are showing you in front of us, this is the statement of the Abdul, not my statement. I have nothing to do with it. All right, read carefully with me. The Prophet used to feel ill because of this food. So since Muhammad, he ate that food, this is a point of a change of his health. This is not something like after 3 years he starts suffering from something. No, since that day his life changed. So he's suffering since then. It's not something later happened. So the poison obviously destroys some of his organs. He harmed badly, and Muhammad is dying now slowly death. And actually there's many hadiths speaking about him keep vomiting whatever he eat, etc. So because of this because of this food, this is your Muslim talking, not me, used to feel ill. And Aisha, she said in the hadith in Sahih Bukhari that he used to say, if we go to Aisha, let us grab Aisha from her hair. She will tell us the story. I mean the hadith of Aisha, from the hair of Aisha, because always she put her hadith of the Prophet in her head, as the Muslims they claim. The Prophet, in his element in which he died, used to say, look with me at used to say. It's not something he said once. He kept repeating the same. This guy is suffering a lot, and he used to say. So now, oh Aisha, I still, and here look at the word I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar. So since that time until now, until his death, he still feel the same pain which caused by the food he ate at Khaybar. This is not something new. This is something happened since he ate the food. And don't tell me, Muslims, that you know better than your Prophet what he feel, and don't tell me that you feel what is inside his stomach more than him. And suddenly you Muslims, you don't agree with Muhammad and Muhammad became a guy who not to listen to. So you will notice here that Muhammad saying two things. Actually, Aisha saying two things that he used to say, which mean this is something not repeated once. It is something repeated many times, maybe every 5 minutes. He used to say, "Oh Aisha, I still feel the pain caused by the food I ate at Khaybar." So I still, which mean I never stop feeling that pain, obviously. And now there's something new. Look what he said. "And at this time, I feel as if my aorta is being cut from that poison." That is the new. So he feel the pain of the food since he ate it. Yes, never stop. I still feel the same pain I ate since I ate in Khaybar. But now there is more pain, as if my aorta is being cut off. And this is what bothering the Muslims, because this is what the Quran says, that Muhammad, if he is a liar, Allah will cut his artery. لَقَطَعْنَا مِنْهُ الْوَتِينَ. A person says to me, does it say this that in the Quran? Yes, it does say that. As you see, this is the al-watin. Al-watin is the artery, and that's why the Muslim translation says artery too. So Muhammad here in the hadith, by confirming how he died, and the Quran confirming that if Muhammad is a liar, he cannot escape our punishment. And if the messenger were to invent any of our saying, which means he is a fabricator, he is a liar. If he is a liar, to invent any saying in our name, we should certainly seize him by his right hand, and we should certainly cut off his artery of his heart. But look, Muhammad saying that he died exactly in such a way. And this is what is bothering all those Muslims in the comment in the previous video. And this is why many Muslims actually, they are making videos against my video trying to refute me, but you cannot. And you know, just to show you that Muhammad, he died by the poison. It's not me who's saying that. All your scholars agree, Shia and Sunni. Let us see the Shia first. This is a Shia scholar. His name is Yasser al-Habib. The video name, you can search it. It's called Who Killed Prophet Muhammad? So this is the Shia believe truly that Muhammad was killed by the poison. This is number one. Now what about the Sunni? We showed you Sahih al-Bukhari, we showed you Aisha. Aisha, she's saying that he's what he said, he is feeling the pain, but maybe you don't believe in Aisha no more because it's embarrassing. So what about those scholars in the same page we are reading from? Look what those Muslim scholars they say. They say that Muhammad, he died by that poison, and I will see that later. Look, the women here, the one who killed Muhammad, Muhammad, he gathered the Jews and he asked them, why you did that? They said, well, we want to see if you were a liar, which in case we have to get rid of you, and if you are a prophet, you know, that will not harm you anyway. Then we will see here the prophet of Allah used to say, I feel to feel ill because of the food, and it would be treated by copying of for that, which means Muhammad, actually what they used to do, they used to make a cut in his throat. Imagine, there is a guy who is supposed to practice Arabian medicine. He used to make a cut in his throat, and that is done over and over and over, trying to save Muhammad. So Muhammad, he bleeded from his throat in order to get rid of the poison. But obviously it's not working, because they used to do that always. It's not one time. So from time to time they make him bleed on purpose, so his blood will be refreshed and changed, but it's not working. And as you see, this is what you Muslims saying. Actually, even the Hadith report, report that Ahmad narrated from Ibn Abbas that the Jewish women sent a gift to the Messenger of Allah of a poisoned roasted sheep. He sent to her and asked her, what made you do what you did? She said, I wanted to see if you are a prophet, then Allah would tell you about it. Allah will tell you about it. And if you were not a prophet, people would be rid of you because simply you're a liar. Now here you see, and this is the funny, whenever the messenger of Allah felt ill as a result of that, he would have himself treated by cuping. No one occasion he traveled and then he entered Ihram, he felt ill as a result, blah blah blah. So because always they do this cut in his throat, always, to make him bleed so he can survive. So Muhammad was treated for this many times, trying to get rid of his blood. And this is not only one time deal. Things is getting worse, and the medical expert at the same, call him the doctor at that time, he do that to Muhammad by cutting, making a cut in his throat, making him bleed, hoping that will get rid of some poison, and that will make him survive by having a new fresh blood. Then you see here it says that the editor of Al-Musnad classified this hadith as a sahih. So don't tell me it's a weak. Then that had an impact in causing his death. So blessing be upon him, died as a martyr, shaheed, as Ibn Mas'ud said. Who is the one who said that the Prophet died as shaheed, as a martyr? Ibn Mas'ud. And they agree, all of them, they agree. If I swear, if I too were to swear by Allah 9 times that the messenger of Allah and the blessing upon him was killed, that is more beloved to me than swearing once, because Allah made him, the Prophet made him a martyr. Narrated by Ahmad 3617. The editor said its isnad is sahih according to the conditions of Muslim. So now what we have in front of us, you Muslims accuse me that I am twisting words. You're accusing me that this is not what happened. You said no, the Prophet did not die by poison, but even your scholars and the best of the scholars, and even, I mean, those are your highest, the cousin of Muhammad, everybody saying Muhammad that he died by poison. So what we discover here, that Muhammad, his death is a clear evidence that he is a false prophet. Because remember the whole story, and I am really amazed. Usually Muslims are not honest when they speak about things, because look here, I see a lot of honesty, which is weird. I'm really I was surprised to see this article in English, because usually they don't really give any truth. Because remember, it says in the same page many times, repeated, that we wanted to see if you are a prophet, Allah will protect you. If you are not, you will die. And here they reported that Muhammad, he said to the women, Allah will not let you do it. Allah will not what? Allah will not let you do that. Do what? To be able to kill me. The women, she is trying to test Muhammad if he is a prophet or not, if he's a liar or not. So when Muhammad, he says to her that Allah will not let you do that, Muhammad, he just confirmed that if this has happened, that's mean he is a false prophet. Let us see. Anyway, there's no need actually to look for more hadith. Let us see. All those hadith in front of us saying clearly what happened. Every year you are still suffering pain because of the poisoned meat that you ate. He is still suffering every year. You see? And then let us continue here. And by the way, he did not kill her right away, he killed her later. as you see here in the hadith in the Sahih Bukhari too, the same story. And look here, this is the Muslim translation. This is the Muslim translation. I felt the effect of the poison on the ovola. I'm not sure if I'm saying the word correctly, but I'm guessing that this is the same as the artery, right? Which is mentioned in different translation. So Muhammad is confirming again and again how and where he died, and this is exactly what the Quran is saying. Look how many hadith. I mean, this is all over. Look, this is not a story which is like coming from the middle of nowhere. And as you see, the Muslim scholars, they agree that Muhammad, he died as a martyr by the poisoned sheep. And there's a funny story here that the goat spoke to the prophet. And here I find this miracle, or funny miracle, is very funny, because the goat, she spoke to the prophet saying to him, don't eat me, after he ate. I mean, isn't it, this is silly? What about Allah? He made the goat speak before, and the guy, he ate too. The guy next to Muhammad, he ate from it. So I mean, Muslim, they fabricate stories, miracles. I mean, it's amazing. Have you ever heard of a God, he want to save his prophet by making the goat talk after he ate? So now I ate the poison, I ate the goat, and then Allah, he made the goats speaking to me and says don't eat it, but I ate it already. So even the Muslim miracles is really, I mean, amazing. It's like a cartoon, it's like a Mickey Mouse. And as you see here, the women, she keep confirming, we want to be sure, if you are a king, we, you know, if you are a liar, we will get rid of you. If you are a prophet, then you will not be killed. All right. But this is exactly what happened. Muhammad, he died, which means he is truly a false prophet. All right. And Muhammad, he keeps saying, I am feel my illness, and it's cutting my aorta, as you see. And this is in total agreement with the Quran, that if he is lying, Allah will cut his artery. So I understand the pain of the Muslims who they see things which is a very clear evidence that Muhammad is a false prophet. I understand how they point their finger at me and trying to disqualify me from saying like, okay, Christian Prince is a Christian and he is not sharing the truth with you. But look, you know, Muslims, try to be honest for a second. Everything I'm showing in the screen is coming from your websites, and what we see in front of us, this is not my statement. So when you say no, the prophet never said, Allah would not let you do that, accusing me of lies, here we go, I got you busted. And this is a Sahih hadith. This is a Sahih hadith, as you see with me. Bukhari 2617, Sahih Muslim 2190, narrated that etc. The woman, she said, I wanted to kill you. Muhammad, he says, Allah would not let you do that. So here Muhammad, by saying such a statement, he did lie. He did lie, because how he speak in the name of Allah, that Allah will not let you do that, and then that happened. That's mean Muhammad here is fabricating something have nothing to do with Allah. If Allah is a true God, and Allah speaking through Muhammad, Muhammad inspired by Allah through the angel Jibreel, the delivery guy, and obviously Jibreel is the one who told him Allah will not let her do that. So Muhammad, he just opened his mouth and says Allah will not let you do that, and then we find Muhammad die by that. So either Allah lied to Muhammad, or Muhammad lied to Allah, or Muhammad lied to the Jewish women. At the end of the day, Muhammad lied to everybody. And the top of that, we have another problem, which is hurting Islam a lot more. The disaster is not over. If we go in the yellow pages, which is the Quran, we will find the Quran repeating all over that any bad things happen to you, it happened only by the will of Allah. Not only that, it's written in the book of Allah, which means Allah, he planned for Muhammad to die by poison. Read carefully. no misfortune, you know, and this is a translation, not my translation, can happen on earth or in your soul, but it's recorded in a degree before we bring it into existence. Here we notice that Muhammad, he take a credit, sorry, the God of Muhammad take a credit for all the crimes happening in the world. So if you have something wrong happen to you, if you are a woman, a man, he rape you, Allah, he decide that he should rape you. If you are a victim of a theft, if you are a victim of sexual assault, if you are a victim of robbery, if you are a victim of even car accident, all of this happened because Allah, he decreed for you before even you exist, and it's written in his book. So you can't get away with it. And this means that Muhammad, he himself, Allah, he planned that this woman she should kill Muhammad. But look how dangerous what we just read. That's mean the verse in the Quran which is speaking about Muhammad, if he lie, certainly we are going to cut his artery. That's mean this is the plan of Allah to cut the artery of Muhammad since before he created Muhammad, because Muhammad is a liar. For this is the plan, this is the decree. Nothing happened except by the will of Allah and by the plan of Allah and by the decree of Allah. And here we notice that as long as this is the decree of Allah, then Allah is the one who decreed the death of Muhammad, and he killed him for he's a liar. Especially the woman who is saying, I wanted to kill you. She is saying, I wanted to kill you to see if you are a prophet, then you will survive it. If you are not a prophet, then you will die. So the whole purpose of this death is to see if Muhammad is a prophet or not, at least for the Jewish women. So when you Muslims try to escape this is totally against your Quran and totally proving Muhammad to be a totally false prophet. It's a disaster, actually. It's a shame. And when Allah, he says, certainly we are going to cut his artery, and we are going to punish him, and we are going to cause his death. And then another verse, and this is in chapter 69, verse 46, is speaking about that. And then in another verse, the Quran speak in chapter 57, verse number 22, that Allah is the one who decree any misfortune happen to anyone. That's mean Allah, he decreed the misfortune of the death of Muhammad to Muhammad. He was killed by Allah as a penalty and as a punishment for he lying about Allah, claiming to be a prophet. Very clear evidence. Now we are not done. I wish we are done. Look, there's more verses in the Quran which is a very horrible. Chapter 64 verse number 11, it says the following: no kind of a calamity can occur except by the leave of Allah. Is the death of Muhammad by being killed by poison is like it's a bad thing? Is it a disaster? Is it a misfortune? Is it something happened nobody want? Yes, that's what the Quran is saying, but it's not your choice. No one can choose to refuse. Nothing happened except by the leave of Allah. And which mean here again the Quran proving to us that Islam is a stupid cult, because this is mean that if somebody rape you, it was Allah and he made a leave for it. Rape her, okay, go ahead, rape her. If a woman, if a man is a child molester and he rape a child, okay, it's by Allah leave. Okay, go ahead. If you are a thief and you want to rob people in the street, okay, go ahead, but it's by Allah leave, no problem. So what kind of leave this leave is? So no exception except by the leave of Allah. So the question here, as long the women, she challenged and she said, if you are a prophet, then you will not die. And Allah will tell you, Allah will inform you, and you will not die. And Muhammad, he said to her, well, Allah would not let you do that. Connect this to the verses we showed you, where no bad things can happen to anyone except by the leave of Allah. Muhammad, he said, Allah will not let you do that. Remember, nothing can happen to you, nothing wrong can happen to you except by the leave of Allah. So Muhammad here claiming that he have a protection from Allah and nothing wrong will happen to him. That alone is a lie, because as you see in the same page, we see Muhammad saying that he died by the poison. And I'm going to post actually the link for everybody, so you guys, you can have the reference in case in the future we spoke about it. Somebody saying, so why Muhammad he exposed himself like that? My friend, Muhammad did not expose himself. You see, it's not his plan. He exposed himself, yes, but not by his plan. Muhammad, now he's dying, he's in pain, he don't know even what, like, he is just saying what, oh, I'm dying, etc. So Muhammad, he don't even remember what he said. He is in the moment of death. And again, Fadi, you just made a very clear point that Muhammad exposed himself, because if he is a prophet, shouldn't he knew better? Shouldn't he knew that there is no way he is dying by the poison? Shouldn't he knew that when he said to that woman, Allah will not let you do it, that's mean it must be, cannot happen? But Muhammad, he said that at the moment he just ate the food, Allah will not let you do it. But what happened, it's different from what he said. So when you say why Muhammad exposed himself clearly like that, maybe someone lied to him about what? They put poison and the guy next to him, he died. The guy who was sitting next to him, the woman, she asked the people, what is the best of the goat Muhammad he like to eat? They said the shoulder. So she put the poison in the shoulder. The guy is next to him, he grabbed directly from that location and he died immediately. Muhammad, he stopped eating right after he saw what happened to the guy next to him. The guy right away, he started feeling the pain, because it looked like he ate where really the poison is, like in the major amount of the poison. So Muhammad, he stopped eating right away when he saw what happened to the guy next to him. And he said to the women, Allah will not let you do that. So here you need to ask yourself as a Muslim, Fadi, why Muhammad saying such a statement unless he is fabricating an answer? Because as you see, even your Muslim scholars, even Aisha, even the hadith, even Muhammad saying, I am dying because of that food. So imagine this, we are in a court, we have the victim saying, I am dying by poison. We have the wife of the victim saying, he died by poison. We have the companion of the prophet saying he died by poison. We have a woman who poisoned the prophet, she said he died by poison. And now the Muslim, they will say to us, he did not die by poison. You know what I mean? You guys, the funny thing about this story, the victim, the killer, the wife of the victim, the companions, the witnesses, the Quran, the hadith, all saying Muhammad died by poison. And now the Muslims, they will not believe, because this is crazy. That's mean our prophet is a false prophet. Have you ever heard of a madness? But this is because this topic is very sensitive, and it like let us say, you know, in Arabic we say الشعر التي قصفت ظهر البعير. So there's, you put a hair, little hair in a camel, and then he break. Why? Because he's carrying too much. But it's not the hair really what break it, but I mean it's too much. So now we have too much evidence that Muhammad is a false prophet. And when Muhammad he made those statements, he never thought he is going to expose himself. There's no such look at, you know, this is what I say. I feel sorry for the Muslim. I mean, the Muslims, there are people who open their mouth, they don't even read. I mean, this guy, he keep coming here. I mean, Fadi, isn't it obvious that I don't say things from my own pocket? It's in the front of you. I mean, what's wrong with you? Guys, where it says that, where there's no such a thing. Here we go. It's in the front of you. It's in the front of you. I mean, why those people, they cannot read? Why they cannot read? It's in the front of your eyes. There's no such a medicine. This is in your books. and there is no such a medicine. I mean, I show it to them, I give them the reference, I give them the number, I give them the website, and this is Islamic website, Islamic books, Islamic scholars, Islamic companions, the wife of the Prophet, Muhammad, Aisha, everybody, and yet he says to me there is no such a thing. Do you remember the guy where we said to him that what his name, the Sheikh Abdul Wadud? When I showed him that the Prophet, she said that the verses of stoning to death and breastfeeding for adult, it was eaten by the goat. He said there is no such a thing. I said it's in front of you. He said, brother, you're asking so much questions, I need to go now. There is no such a thing. I said to him, are you saying that the Prophet wife is a liar? And he ran. So as you see, all the reference, we have evidence which is building up. And imagine, like you see, Jesus, he was speaking about himself will be killed. I mean, it's normal to happen. He told them who was going to deny him. He told them who was going to betray him. He told them what will happen. He told them what they will say. And even he spoke about the one who will deny him 3 times. So Jesus spoke step by step about what will happen for his death. Muhammad never expected him to die in such a way. This is why he fabricated verse in the Quran saying, well, if Muhammad is a liar, then Allah will cut his artery. Fadi is saying this. Let us show you. By the way, for those who do not know, Fadi is a Muslim, poor Muslim. I feel sorry for him. He is suffering, I can tell, and I think he will leave Islam sooner or later. Can you tell me one poison that cut the life of artery or aorta, because it does not make any sense? So I do not know why Muhammad said that. That's a good question, actually. You just said that your prophet is a stupid. Did you notice what you just said, Fadi? You are saying that does not make sense, which means you are saying your prophet is a stupid. His words is false, his statement is wrong, and his artery is not cut off. And what he say, it does not make sense. So thank you very much. Well, all what we are here doing just to show you that everything Muhammad he says does not make sense. Does it make sense that God will give you an endless private part? Does it make sense that God will give you a lot of women and they are virgins? Does it make sense that Allah will give you a bracelet? And I mean, what makes sense in Islam, my friends? Now you are talking about makes sense. Since when you are a person who follows sense? Does it make sense that shaitan sleep in your nose, piss in your ears, jump in your mouth, go inside your bum? Does it make sense that he round himself around your private part? And now you are talking about what makes sense? I mean, when a Muslim speak about doesn't make sense, you might think like, oh, those people are people. Those people, they are following Aflatun. They are people of philosophy. Does not make sense. What makes sense in this cult? Does it make sense that Allah he made a plastic surgery to the Prophet, cutting his chest, cleaning his liver and his heart and his stomach? I mean, since when, if you want to go to heaven, you need such a surgery? And then we install a dish of wisdom and dish of faith. Have you ever heard of any religion believe that faith and wisdom they come in dishes and we can push them inside the belly of somebody? And now you are talking about sense. I'm really convinced. I mean, that's it. You're logical. You are a philosopher. I mean, next to your name, I advise you to change your name from Fadi to change it to the following. Look who is talking. All right? Guys, Fadi, he says, look at this. So your point is that true God exposed Muhammad in this hadith that goes back to fit with the Quran. Thank you. At the end, you got it, but it's not your God who exposed Muhammad. Let me tell you what happened. God exposed him, but not Allah. Which means I believe that my God, he is the one who get Muhammad busted. not your God, because your God is not existent. He can do nothing. Your God is false God. So here you notice that Muhammad, he made a statement. He thought he will never die. There's a verse in the Quran that says, if the prophet he was killed or he died. I mean, have you ever heard of a prophet says that? I mean, there's a third option. Look at this. Let me show you this verse. In chapter 3, verse number 144, the Quran says, Muhammad is no more than a messenger. Many were messengers that passed away before him. By the way, it doesn't say many messengers passed away before him. It says all messengers pass away before him. False translation. And the reason they change it, because that's a contradiction for Jesus' story. Because according to Muslims, Jesus is still alive and never die. So when the Quran says, وَمَا مُحَمَّدٌ إِلَّا رَسُولٌ قَدْ خَلَتْ مِنْ قَبْلِهِ الرُّسُلُ, that's mean there's no, Muhammad is just a messenger, and all messengers before him, they pass away. All. So what about Jesus? So this is a contradiction. This is why the translator, they say he is no more than a messenger. Many. What do you mean many? What do you mean many? Many only or all? It's false translation. But if he die or were slain, have you ever heard of a God he did not know how Muhammad will die? I mean, imagine you have your wife, she will deliver a baby, and you ask me, Christian Prince, are you a prophet? I say to you, yes, I am. My name is Muhammad. And then you ask me, what is the gender? I say to you, is going to be either male or female. Well, nice to meet you. So what do you mean if he die or was slain? If there's a third option, the one who is talking is Allah. And then he says to us, if he die or slain, because Muhammad, he is not sure how he will die. So to cover his bum, he says, okay, if I die or been slain, because he do not know. He is fabricating Quran. If Muhammad he knew, he would say as Jesus said. If Muhammad knew what will happen, he will tell what will happen. But you do not know what happened. What about Muhammad says, if I die by poison? That will be amazing. What if Muhammad saying, if I get killed, confirming his death, how he's going to be? But because Muhammad is trying to cover, he don't know. He might die, he might be killed. So if he die or get killed, so as you see, whatever we go try to protect Muhammad, you cannot. I mean, especially if you are talking to me, maybe you can play games with somebody he have very little knowledge about this cult, but you cannot do this game with me, my friend. It's not your fault, by the way. But I know you are a Muslim and you try to defend Islam, but it's stupid. Look at this. It's not your fault. You cannot defend. Nobody can defend this stupidity. Nobody. You can defend the stupidity only with a bunch of ignorance who do not know anything about Islam, but you cannot do that with me. Imagine, you ask me what is the weather will be tomorrow. I say to you, either going to be sunny or it's going to be rainy. I mean, what is that? Oh, this is a prophet of God. So let me make a prophecy. I want to make a prophecy, guys. I want to tell you what happened 1400 years ago. Muhammad, either he died or he been slain, and I confirm that to you. I mean, wow. I mean, how Christian Prince he knew that? How he knew what happened 1400 years ago? He just told us what happened. Either he died or he been slain. That's amazing. Maybe the angel Jibreel, he came to Christian Prince and he told him what happened. That's astonishing, my friend. I mean, you see, this, like, you Muslims, you try to argue with me and supposedly trying to refute me, but the more you try to refute me, the more you put fire in and wood in the top of your prophet the grave. And now there's nobody can refute this. And you know what? Let us see how many of you can refute me. All the evidence. And the Muslim, they say to us, like, there's a guy, he posted, says, the Christian Prince, the prophet did not kill her. No, he did kill her. He did kill her. I mean, do you Muslim read? Do you even read? He killed her. Even here we go. Your Muslim scholars, they are saying and they are reporting the hadith for you that he killed her, but he did not kill her immediately. He ordered her to be executed. Al-Sindi said the word he was killed mean by the poison in the meat of the sheep that which he ate, when the effect of that appeared when he was dying. This is another quotation. Like, they are giving you a reference from your Islamic scholars. Al-Bukhari narrated from his Sahih, etc., 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 that the Prophet, when he died, he says, I feel that the pain is cutting, etc. So Muhammad is saying that, Muslims agree with that, and all the reference is built up, and you Muslims, you agree that your Prophet, he died as a martyr, as you claim. But this death, as a martyr or not, whatever you call that death, proving to us that Muhammad is a prophet, which is a false one. And what you can do about it? Your reference, your scholars, your words, you are the witness. And yes, the prophet, he executed her. So I feel really sorry for you following such a prophet, but I'm trying to help you, my friend. And there is a guy, by the way, he says, I don't know really much about Islam, but listening to Christian Prince videos, Alhamdulillah, I became a Muslim. I mean, you Muslims are funny when you try to learn how to lie from Muhammad. I mean, who is the world was going to believe in this? So you became a Muslim because you listen to my videos? You're right. Absolutely. I believe you. It's true story. Sahih Bukhari. Yeah. A lot of pain, a lot of pain. So yes, Christian Prince is doing a lot of pain, but the purpose is not to make you in pain, my friend. If you are a Muslim, the purpose is to share the truth with you, and the truth will set you free. Muhammad is nothing but a false prophet, and the reference is building up. And you know what? When we call somebody a prophet, have you ever heard a prophet but his prophecies, all of them are false? And here we go. This is one of them. Allah will not let you do that. This is a prophecy, because Muhammad here is speaking about Allah will, and the Quran says that Allah will punish Muhammad by cutting his artery, the same exactly as Muhammad he said he's dying with. Allah will not let you do that. So I truly I feel sorry for the Muslims, but trust me, we are not here to come in here to humiliate you. We are here to help you, so you can see the truth, and you can, you know, make a decision about what you want to do in your life, because you are following obviously a false prophet. We don't hate Muslims. We will never hate them. We feel for them, and Muslims, they can be a very wonderful people, but they are following a false prophet who teach violence, hatred, and anger, and the conspiracy. And here we go. And by the way, this woman, Muhammad, he killed her tribe. So I'm not really surprised for what she did. I mean, what do you expect? What do you expect? Nothing. Muhammad, he slaughtered them. So I'm not surprised really that she killed him. Right? He's saying to me, Fadi, did you, okay, hold on, let's answer this. Did you check the modern Islamic scholar? Guy, Fadi, did you say modern? I mean, it's really funny when you say modern. Is that like a new model? Is that a fashion? I mean, this is history. It's written 1400 years ago. So what a modern scholar can say. And by the way, the website we are reading from here, are they those modern scholars? Or the one who is writing there, the answer for you, he is writing it from the time of Muhammad? What modern? Like saying to me, what is the modern modern Christianity? There's no modern Christianity. The Bible is the Bible. Jesus is Jesus. Do we have modern Jesus who say different words? So always I feel sorry for the Muslims when they try to come with the like like how we can save the prophet. Did you check the moderate or the modern scholar? Those are the modern scholars. This website is where in the time of your prophet they have a website. Who are those people who they are talking there? My friend, those are the moderate. Those are today. However, you should not go by the moderate, because this is history written 1400 years ago. So if somebody today he will not agree with it, that's because he's trying to go in denial with the facts. You have to prove, you have to bring facts from the same time which is opposing this, but nobody can find them. This is what we have, and the Muslims agree upon. So when you say we have you know, did you check the moderate? What moderate? Shabir Ali, who keep making mistakes. He do not even know how to read the Quran. He don't even know how to say his prophet name. Or Nu'man Khan. So I feel sorry for you. And again, this is the link for the reference for those who want to read. If you are a Muslim, if you are a Christian, this is the link. Please save the link. I will post it actually. I will, you know what? I will post it in the comment. Link for, I hate it when I'm typing in Arabic. And this actually, this link is very good, because the one who made this answer, he, you know, he gathered a lot of reference, and as you see here, he made it clear that the prophet, he died as a martyr. All right. You see? And even here, this hadith here saying that if I were to swear by Allah 9 times that the messenger of Allah, he died by that poison, was killed, I will do that. And this is a Sahih hadith. All right. So I feel sorry for those who try to defend, but you cannot do that. I mean, this is a mission impossible. And I understand it's not your fault to be suffering with this conclusion that your prophet, he was a false prophet, because this is what all the story is about. He is a false prophet. Now imagine I make a prophecy, says if a Christian prince, he die or get killed. What a prophet is that? So I hope that's the Muslim who tried to refute me, he will repent and he accept the truth. And my friend, the truth will set you free. I am not against you as a person. I am just sharing the truth. Again, for those who speak Spanish, my book in Spanish, the second one, which is translation for Quran and Science, maybe it's out already. Actually, you can search the name in Amazon if it's out already, but it should be out already, or maybe a few hours from now. So if you speak Spanish, feel free to get your copy. And we have now 2 of my books translated to Spanish, which is The Deception of Allah and Quran and Science. Both of them, they are in Spanish. And for sure we have them in German, and soon we will have in Russian and Portuguese. And God is great and doing great help for us by sending great people who help, and they do, you know, give us a lot of a great work and blessing for us. So I want to say thank you guys for being here, and feel free, please, right away after we finish this video, to download the video, share it with your friends, and don't forget to learn and take notes. Those who just listen, you know, knowledge will go from one ear, will get out from the other ear. Don't be like that. Don't be. Because what the benefit? Why you want to waste your time? If you are not here to learn, just go and watch a movie. If you are not a person about knowledge, this is here for a knowledge. And knowledge, my friend, change us. Knowledge truly change you. It changes you, even how you speak to your family, how you speak to your wife, how a wife speak to her husband. A knowledgeable person, he will be a new person. especially we are talking about knowing God. So knowledge is very important, extremely important. It can change even your structure as a man, the way you think, the way you act, the way you do things. Same for the women. So knowledge should be your #1 favorite hobby. Make it a hobby, something you love, not something extra. It's not a fantasy, it's not a luxury. It should be your daily food, because this is the only thing to grow with you and make you more priceless. The rest of you will go in the opposite direction. If you are handsome, one day you will get old and you will have wrinkles and your hair will lose color, and then you start doing maintenance in the shop every few days to go into the and then later you have an oxygen carried in your back. But there's one thing which is going to grow when the rest, all of it, will go in the opposite direction. That is knowledge. And wherever you go, if you are a person who have knowledge, people will respect you, people will receive you, people will give you the best place to listen to you, even if you are a person who maybe don't even speak a good language or their language, because always your knowledge will speak out for you. So I advise you always to learn, take notes, and don't be just a person who listen and let things get in and get out. You know, in China they say he left as a horse, he never came back as a donkey. Don't be that donkey. Never be. All right? Oh, sorry, I said in the opposite. He left as a donkey, he never came back as a horse. So don't be that donkey. Yes, don't be that donkey who left as a donkey, came back as a horse. And this is meant, it's not about a donkey and a horse, it's about a person. He went, he traveled, but he learned still nothing. He left as a donkey, he came back as a donkey. My friend, you are a human being. God, he gave you a gift. Use it. Use it, and you will see how priceless the gift of God is for you. Thank you very much for being here, and may the Lord bless you all, and I will see you soon again. Christ is Lord, Islam is false, and we prove it every day. Take care.